Hello everyone, I am Dr. Preeti Khulbe and I am taking today technology transfer from R&D to production topic. So students, this topic is related to the transfer of technology from R&D to the production area. In previous videos, we have discussed about pilot plant scale-up techniques. So we have discussed that there are multiple, pilot plant and scale-up techniques which we can use for transferring of the formula from one place to another place, or we can say from the small scale, from the laboratory scale, R&D scale to the production stage. If we transfer the formula, then this is known as pilot plant scale-up technique. We have discussed in our previous video related to the general consideration related to the pilot plant scale-up. Other than that, GMP consideration of pilot plant scale-up. Other than that, pilot plant scale-up of different dosage forms we have discussed in our last videos. So you can go and check out those videos also. Okay, so today starting with the topic that is technology transfer from R&D to production. So first of all, learning objective. So the learning objective of this technology transfer unit, which is the second unit in industrial pharmacy 2 subject. In this unit basically they focus on the technology transfer. So after completion of this unit, you will came to know about the various consideration related to technology transfer, introduction, and why it is important, what is the need behind the technology transfer, all these things. So to know the various consideration of technology transfer is the first objective. The second objective is know the legal issues related to the technology transfer. What are the legal issues, what are the agencies, what are the authorities which are there related to the technology transfer. So we will you will came to know in this unit. Okay, after that, the stages of technology transfer is also there. So in technology transfer, different stages are there. So you will came to know in detail about the different stages related to the technology transfer, and also the the why this stage is important and why these stages are coming one by one. So all these things related to this you will came to know in this unit. So it has this unit has basic 3 learning objective. First one is know the various consideration related to the technology transfer. Second is know the legal issues, legal authorities related to the technology transfer. And third one is stages involved in the technology transfer. Next thing is the learning outcome. So after completion of this unit, the students will be able to learn about the need of technology transfer, why technology transfer is important, what happened if we doesn't do technology transfer. Okay, so all these things the student will be able to learn after the completion of this unit. Other than that, technology transfer from R&D to production, that is how the technology is transferred from the R&D scale to the production scale. This also you will came to know when after completion of this unit. Other than that, advantages and disadvantages related to technology transfer. There are many advantages of technology transfer, that's why we are doing it, but despite of many advantages, there are certain disadvantages also related to the technology transfer. So the students will be able to learn about those technology transfer advantages and disadvantages also. Okay, so there are 3 learning outcomes related to this topic. First one is need of technology transfer. Second one is technology transfer from R&D to production. And third one is advantages and disadvantages of technology transfer. So yeah, the thing is content. So in this units we will in these slides we will learn about the introduction of technology transfer or introduction to technology transfer. What is the definition of technology transfer, what are the content related to the technology transfer, all you will came to know about all these things in this unit. Other than that, you will also came to know related to the technology transfer team. Okay, so second slide is related to the technology transfer team. That is the members, the persons which are there, which are involved in the technology transfer process, comes under the technology transfer team. Okay, so you will came to know about the technology transfer team in detail in this unit. Next is stages involved in the technology transfer. So after the introduction and team related to the technology transfer, you will also came to know about different stages which are there in the technology transfer, because technology transfer is not a single stage process. It is it involves multiple stages. Number of steps are there in the technology transfer. These steps are known as stages. So you will came to know in detail about those stages in the third slide. After these three slides, or we can say three topics, the fourth topic related to technology transfer is technology transfer from R&D to production. That is how the technology is transferred from R&D to production. This also you will came to know in detail in further slides. And last one is conclusion, then references, and at last we will discuss about some objective question related to the technology transfer in this slide. So you can see the contents which are related to the technology transfer. Okay, so these are the contents. So that means basically in this, after completion of the slides, we will came to know about all these things related to this. Now first slide and the first topic related to technology transfer is what is technology transfer, and introduction to, or we can say the introduction to technology transfer. So the first question the first question which is arise in our mind is what is technology transfer and why it is important. So by the definition, if we see, so transfer of technology is defined as a logical procedure that controls the transfer of any process together with its documentation and professional expertise between development and manufacturer or between manufacturer side is known as transfer of technology. Okay, so basically this is the definition. In simple word, first we understand what is technology transfer. So in simple word, we can say that technology transfer is a technique which we are transferring from one place to another place. Okay, for example, we have certain process. For example, we want to transfer a process of assay determination method. So how we transfer this assay determination process or any technology from one place to another place. This is the important thing related to this. Okay, so by the definition we can say, and this process is called the documented process because it is a legal process. ठीक है, होने को आप क्या, you can transfer this process orally also, but for the legal legal submissions, for the legal point of view, you have to transfer the process with documentation, and there should be one proper procedure of transfer is there, because if you will not transfer it with the legal procedure, your process is not authorized, we can say. Okay, so it is very essential to make the process accordingly. Okay, now so as per the definition, if you see, so it is a logical procedure that control the transfer of any process together with its documentation and professional expertise between development and manufacturing. That is, first thing you should understand that it is a legal procedure and it should be well documented so that you can control it, like you can transfer it authenticately. Okay, so that is the document. It should be documented procedure. And third important thing is the technology can be transferred between the manufacturer side and the development side, that is the R&D to the production, or maybe between the manufacturer side. Okay, so here this thing is important when we discuss about the pilot plant and scale up. So it is not in between the companies, in between the manufacturing side, because scale up is we are optimized the formula for the large scale, but here we are not optimized properly. We can say we are just transferring it the process, so it may be from one side to another manufacturing side. For example, if the two companies are there and they want to share their knowledge or they want to share their technology, so they can also go for this procedure of technology transfer. Okay, so this thing you should be clear about, that technology transfer is what? Technology transfer is any logical procedure which is used to control the transfer of any technology with documentation and professional expertise should be there, and the transfer should be in between the two manufacturing sites, or the development site and the manufacturing site, or you can say R&D and the manufacturer. Okay, or R&D scale or the large scale. Okay, now the next is the technology transfer is the process by which a developer of technology makes its technology available to a commercial partner that will exploit that technology. Okay, so the technology transfer process, if we define it, so technology transfer process is basically a process of transfer of technology. This now this technology is developed by certain person or certain company, and it may transfer for the commercial partner or for the commercial use, or for the for their company, also for the larger scale manufacturing. So it can be available for the commercial partners, and that will exploit the technology, that can use that technology for their use. Okay, now in pharmaceutical industry, technology transfer refers to the process of successful progress from drug discovery to product development, clinical trials, and ultimately full-scale commercialization. Okay, so till then we have discussed about the technology transfer introductory part. So what is in general technology transfer, kya hai, what is the process of technology transfer, this we have discussed. Now we are discussing about in pharmaceutical industry what is technology transfer, how we can define the technology transfer in the pharmaceutical industry. So in this technology transfer in the pharmaceutical industry refers to the process of successful progress from drug discovery to product development. Okay, so that means we can say that it is a process in which we are successfully transferring the material from drug discovery to the full scale commercialization. And in this technology transfer, that means the technology transfer involves all the steps which are there in between the drug discovery and full scale commercialization. That is, in between this drug discovery, drug development is there, the clinical trial is there, or full scale manufacturing or large scale manufacturing is there. So that means when we talk about the technology transfer in pharmaceutical industry, so it covers all the things which are related to the drug discovery as well as full scale drug discovery and all related processes which leads the drug to the final commercialization. Okay, so this is related to the introduction of technology transfer. Now, technology transfer from various sectors. So the technology transfer, first there is a idea generation, then there is a research, then development, then production, then manufacturing, then distribution, and then a product is coming to the commercialization or for the marketing. So we have already discussed that in pharmaceutical industry all these things, that is product development or idea of product to the final commercialization, the technology transfer process involved. So in research, the startup firm and R&D firms are there. In startup firms universities and research institutes do some research and they develop the develop some kind of product from the idea. For example, the idea is to make a a corona vaccine. So this is an idea generation. So then if there is certain idea generation, for example, there is an idea of we can make a corona vaccine. So then what will happen, multiple universities, the research institutes, startup firms, R&D firms, all are working related to this. Okay, so after the development of that particular formulation, okay, either it is corona vaccine or anything, any formulation, so what is there after the development, then it will go to the production by the scale up. Okay, we have discussed about the pilot plant scale up technique. So through the scale up it will go to the production, and from the production it will go to the manufacturing and then distribution. So all these things, that is production, manufacturing, distribution, all these things comes under the larger companies. So big size large scale manufacturing companies are there, which involves the production, manufacturing and distribution of drugs, and at last the product is marketed for the commercialization. Okay, so this is, we can say, a basic idea and basic thing which is related to the technology transfer is there. Now technology transfer process flow chart. So here you can see there is a flow chart, there is a circular flow chart, we can say, related to the technology transfer is there. So it starts with the R&D, we can say. Okay, in R&D, for example, certain product is there in the R&D, so then it will go to the information and assessment. Information related to that R&D product is assessed and gathered. Information is gathered and assessment is done. Then after this, the investment related to the that particular product is done. After the investment, there is a commercialization of that product, and for the commercialization, promotion is important. And after the promotion, when the product is going to the market, reaches to the market, then again some innovation related to it occurs, and after that if there is some innovation, then again for the innovation, that product is go to the R&D. Okay, so this is a circular, we can say, flow chart. In this the different stages of technology transfer is shown. So R&D, then it will go to the information and assessment, and after that investment, then commercialization, then promotion, then innovation, and then R&D, then again R&D, we can say. So it is a circular chart which shows the things related to the technology transfer, or flow chart related to the technology transfer. Now, very important topic is reasons for technology transfer, or we can say need of technology transfer. Why we are doing the technology transfer? Okay, so this thing we should understand clearly. So reasons for technology transfer is, first is due to lack of manufacturing capacity, we have to do the technology transfer. So that is, as we have already discussed in the pilot plant scale up, that for the scale up, we have discussed this in contract manufacturing, that if some companies there which has a very good sale of that particular product, but they are not having the manufacturing capacity. So what they used to do, they used to make their product by using the contract manufacturing with another company. So that means one is client company is there and another one is the manufacturing company is there. So what happens, so if the client company, that is the brand which are selling their product, the main company, we can say, if they want to make their product with the certain other company, so they need to transfer their technology from one company to another company for the similar product, or for making the similar product, and for maintaining the quality of the product. Okay, so first thing is, due to lack of manufacturing capacity, we need to transfer the technology from one company to the another company. Okay, second thing is due to lack of resources to launch the product commercially. So that means if there are this is also a very similar related to this. For example, if you have the lack of any resources, we have only in first point we have only discussed about manufacturing capacity, but there may be some other resources also. If you have any lack of any resources, then and you want to launch the product commercially, so you can also go for the technology transfer. Okay, so manufacturing capacity is another thing, and lack of other resources. For example, you have certain less resources related to the testing of the formulation, so you have to transfer the your technology from one place to another place. So that is what the lack of resources to launch the product commercially is there. Okay. Now the third reason of technology transfer is due to lack of marketing, distribution and distribution capabilities. Okay, so obviously again we need to transfer the technology. This is also same thing, that if we have the lack of marketing, distribution, or we have the lack of distribution capacity or capability, so we need to transfer it from one place to another place. So all these things, that is either the companies have the lack of manufacturing capacity, so there is a need to transfer the technology. Either the companies have the lack of resources, again they need to transfer the technology. And if they have lack of we can say marketing, distribution, so again they have to transfer the technology with the other company. Now forming the alliance with the partner. Sometime if a small company basically, वैसे large companies के साथ भी होता है, but if some company wants to make the alliance with another company or makes the alliance with the other partners, so also there is a need of technology transfer occurs. Okay, so that means for example, two companies are there, so they want to make an alliance for the better profit, for the better performance, so they can transfer their technology from each other. That is, A company can transfer their formula with the B company, and B company also transfer some technology from to the A company. So to make certain alliance and partners also they can also the technology transfer may occur. Okay, so the next is forming alliance with partners with manufacturing capacity. We have already discussed. Now, forming alliance with partners with marketing and distribution capability. So this is again the next thing which is important. So similarly, as we have discussed that forming alliance and with the partner for anything it is related to the manufacturing capability also, and it is also related to the distribution and marketing capability. So for anything, if the company is making alliance with the another company, if they want to make an alliance and partner, so they can transfer their technology with each other. So basically they can, in simple word we can say, forming alliance with with the partners and partnership with other company, they can transfer the technology. So this is again a reason of technology transfer. Next is exploitation in a different field of application. The exploitation in a different field of application is also maybe there. If you don't have certain we can say expertise in one field, and if you want to do certain exploitation in different field of application, so then you can use the technology transfer also. So this is again a very basic reason related to the technology transfer. Next is a list of institutes assisting in technology transfer. So there are certain institute list is given which are involved in the technology transfer. First one is APCTT, that is Asia Pacific Center for Technology for Transfer of Technology. This is the first institute which is there for the technology transfer. Other than that, TBSC is a very common institute, that is Technology Bureau of Small Enterprises. They also used to assist the technology transfer. And last is National Research and Development Cooperation. This is also there, which is used which is there for the assistance of the technology transfer. So these are just the institutes, means you can take the help from these institutes and you can apply there for the technology transfer documentation related issues. Okay, so here you can see these are some reasons which are there, which are related to the technology transfer. So first one is due to lack of manufacturing capacity, second is due to lack of resources to launch product commercially, third is due to lack of marketing, distribution and distribution capability. Next is forming alliance with the partners, with manufacturing capability, forming alliance with partners with the marketing and distribution capability, exploitation in different field of applications, list of institutes assisting in technology transfer, Asia Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology is there, Technology Bureau for Small Enterprises is there, and National Research and Development Corporation is there. Now next is the technology transfer team. So if we are doing, when we are doing the technology transfer, so from one company to another company or from development stage to the manufacturing stage, so there are number of things which are there, like the technology, the number of things we should consider. The main thing which we should consider, and which is the main thing related to this, is the team of the technology transfer. That is, what are the persons which are involved in the technology transfer, or we can say what type of persons which are involved in the technology transfer, what type of fields which are there, and what is the qualification related to the person. So all we will discuss here. So this is known as the technology transfer team. So the technology transfer team consists of following. Number one, R&D process technologist. Number two is QA representative. Third is the production representative. Fourth is the engineering representative, and fifth is the QC representative. Okay, so first is R&D process technologist. So in this, the R&D process technologist are those persons which are involved in that particular process during the R&D. For example, if you have made certain process in the R&D and certain technology, you are involved during the R&D, and you have to transfer that particular technology from the R&D scale to the manufacturing scale. So obviously that R&D person, R&D technologist which are involved there in the technology will be a part of our technology transfer team. Second is QA representative. So quality assurance representative is the next person which should be there in the technology transfer team. That is, in this the representative which check the quality of the process or the product during the technology transfer. Okay, so that is there, the quality assurance representative is there. So quality assurance representative, we can say, is assure the quality of the product through through the process, or we can say this. Okay, next is production representative. So in production representative, if we talk, so production representative is there because we are transferring the process from the R&D scale to the production scale. So obviously यहाँ से क्या है, R&D scale में R&D process technologist is the giver of the technology, and there should be some taker, ठीक है, जो accept करेगा, acceptor should also be there, taker should also be there, जो सो लेगा वो भी होना चाहिए. So that is, the production representative should be there, who will then follow the technology in the process. Okay, other than that, the engineering representative should be there. So that means if there is any technology which is there, which is related to the any technology is there which is related to the equipments related things. So for this the engineering representative should also be there. Okay, so we can say that these are the team members, in which in technology transfer, each and every area, the person from each and every area should be there, we can say that. Okay, last but not the least, the QC representative should be there. So QA representative basically follow up the quality or assure the quality of the product throughout the process, and QC representative is there which check the quality, which is responsible for the quality control of the final product or final process. Okay, so QC representative should also be there, which is responsible for all the lab testing related work. Okay, so we can say so these are the things which are there. These are the team members of the technology transfer. First one is the R&D process technologist, second one is the QA representative, third one is the production representative, fourth is the engineering representative, and fifth is the QC representative. Next is the technology transfer team roles and responsibilities. So we have discussed also a lot about the team members and their responsibility, but here the chart is given. So you can see here the role is the process technologist. First, the responsibility is central focus for transfer activities and collates the documents and internal assessment taken by him for feasibility and compatibility, etc. for the transfer of the technology. So process technologist, or we can say the R&D process technologist, so their role is the proper transfer of the technology. He's responsible for the proper transfer of technology. Also he is responsible for the documentation and internal assessment related to the feasibility and compatibility of the technology transfer. Okay, the second is QA representative. So quality assurance representative have multiple duties and responsibilities, we can say. So first is it is used to review the documentation to determine the compliance with marketing authorization, that is MA. So the first role and responsibility and the major responsibility of QA representative is review documentation to determine the compliance with marketing authorization. Second is review analytical methods and QC to determine capability and equipment training requirements. So basically QA is involved for the this quality assurance, and for quality assurance obviously the documentation is important, the analytical method review is important, the training is important. So all these things is done by the QA representative. Other than that, it initiates the conversion of the donor site documentation into the local system or format. ठीक है. So किसको टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र करनी है, and how the donor site is what should be the system of the donor site, and all these things, what should be the format of the documentation for the technology transfer. All these things you will will be done by the QA representative. Next is QA representative also initiates or confirms the regulatory requirement. So all the regulatory requirements, or we can say all the regulatory requirements, or we can say the legal requirements are related to the QA representative. That is, QA representative will only done the regulatory requirement, only confirms the regulatory requirements. Okay. Now production representative review the process instructions with process technologist to confirm the capacity and capability. Next is considers any safety implications, for example solvents, toxic sanitizing material, etc. So safe implications, or we can say the proper transfer of production technology is there as responsibility of the production representative. Then it considers the impact on local standard operating procedure. So the production chemist or production technologist is also responsible for the for the complete proper way of this technique. Okay, so this is the review process instruction to confirm the capacity and capability, consider any safety implications, consider impact on local standard operating procedure, and considers training requirement of supervisors and operators are the other roles and responsibility of the production representative. Next thing related to this is engineering representative and QC representative. So the engineering representative responsibility is reviews with production representative. It reviews the equipment related to the production. Then it initiates the required engineering modifications and changes or part purchase. These are the responsibilities, like if there is a there is a need to purchase some equipment, there is a need to require the modification in any engineering process, so it will be responsible for the engineering representative is responsible for this. Other than that, it also engineering representative also responsible for review, preventive maintenance, and calibration equipment impact. Okay, now the QC representative. Now QC representative, as we have discussed, that QC representative is responsible for doing the all the quality control related work. So analytical requirements are reviewed and fulfilled by the QC representative. Then availability of instrumentation which is required for that particular technology is also the QC representative is involved. Then responsibility for analytical method transfer for drug substance and drug product, also the QC representative is involved. So these are the responsibilities of the QC representative: review of analytical requirement, availability of instruments, responsible for the analytical method transfer for drug substance and drug products. Okay, so here we have discussed a lot of responsibilities and roles related to the team members which are there in the technology transfer. So yeah. So we have so these are the references. So in today's lecture we have discussed about the learning outcome, learning objective, content related to the technology transfer. In this we have discussed that there is a technology transfer system in which the technology is transferred from the by proper documentation from the development stage to the manufacture stage, or from the one manufacturing site to the another manufacturing site. Other than that, we have also discussed about the technology transfer team and roles and responsibilities of that team. Okay, for the references you can go for any journal, any books related to this, and in journals there are multiple things, there are multiple journals are there in which the recent advancement are given. Now the objective question. So the first objective question related to this is the transfer of any process together with its documentation is. Okay, if we are transferring the any process with the documentation, so it is known as pilot plant, R&D transfer, scale up, or technology transfer. So we have already discussed about the pilot plant, we have discussed about the scale up, the R&D transfer, we have discussed about all. So the answer is D, that is technology transfer. Second is which is not there in technology transfer flow chart. Okay, so first one is Okay, so the next question is which is not there in technology transfer flow chart. So that is in this the promotion is there, the innovation is there, the F&D is there, the R&D is there. So this is very important thing that we have discussed about a chart related to the flow chart related to the technology transfer. So first one is promotion is there, yes, promotion is there, innovation is there, yes, innovation is also there, then F&D, then R&D. So yeah, F&D is the right answer. So that is C, F&D is not there in the flow chart of technology transfer. Next is the reason for of technology transfer is due to more manufacturing capacity. Second is due to a large number of resources to launch the product commercially, due to the availability of marketing, distribution and distribution capability. Last one is forming alliance with the partners. So we have discussed about a lot in this, that forming alliance and partner with the partners is the reason of the technology transfer. So answer D is correct. Next is what is TBSE in terms of technology transfer. So TBSE is TBSE. What is TBSE? Now you have to find out the answer. First one is the Technology Bureau for small enterprises. Second, Technology Bureau for similar enterprises. Technology Bureau for similar enterprise. Then Technical Bureau of small entity. So the answer is A, that is Technology Bureau for the small enterprises is the right answer. That is the answer A is correct. Now next question is the team of technology transfer not includes. First one is the R&D process technologist, QA representative, architecture representative or engineering representative. So we have discussed that the architecture representative is not there in the technology transfer team. There is R&D process technologist, QA representative and engineering representative are there in the technology transfer team. Next is technology transfer dossier document not include master formula card, master packaging card, master formula and master plan. So answer D is correct. That is a technology transfer dossier and master plan is not included. So there are some things which we will discuss in our next class. The questions are mixed actually here. Next is which is not important to ensure a successful technology transfer. Okay, this is again a good question. So first one is parking facility trial. Obviously the parking facility trials are not important. ये तो easily ये पता चल रहा है. Next is stability indicating methods in place. Yes, it is important. Cleaning validation is important. Then health and safety review is important. So answer A is correct. That is which is not important to ensure a successful technology transfer. The answer is parking facility trials. Next question is project manager roles in technology transfer does not include the project manager which is there in the technology transfer. So इसके role में क्या include नहीं है, but is not included in that role. Schedule planning of budget, review code and purpose of the project, brainstorm and identify the task, identify requirements and action items. So the answer A is correct. That is schedule planning of budget is not there in the role of the project manager. So that is if there is any project manager, so they should not be doing the schedule planning for the budget. Other rules are there. So answer A is correct. Next is the common test categories for method validation not includes. First one is the quantitation of major components. Second is impurities in bulk substances. Third is the performance characteristics, and fourth is the identical method. So the answer is fourth, that is identical method. So that means the common test categories for the method validation not include the identical method because it includes all the above three, that is performance characteristics, it includes the impurities in the bulk substances and also the quantitation of major components. So answer D is correct. Next is category 2 in common test categories for method validation is, so category 2 is impurities in bulk substances. This is the right answer. Other categories are involved are the quantitation of major components, performance characteristics and identification test. We will discuss this thing in detail in our in our next coming class. So here till then you can just remember the answer that impurities in bulk substances is there. We will discuss in detail that why this bulk substance impurities is in the second class, category 2. Now that's all for today. So if you want want the detail related to the technology transfer, so we'll discuss it in the next video. So thanks for watching.